What if hunger you're feeling right now isn't a hunger? Not in a trick body question, but with all seriousness. What if the feeling you have, which makes you think that I need to eat, is actually something else entirely? This is level 2 of emotional eating recovery, which is skills. In first video, we covered the level 1, which was the environment, how we can make small adjustments into the environment to get the awareness, see the clear picture of our patterns. So then we can apply level 2, which is the skills, to start making the change. It matters because a lot of people think that changing the environment, making adjustments in environment is enough to recover. Unfortunately, it's not. I think everybody who ever struggled with the binge eating or emotional eating knows this feeling of when you start eating and you can't stop, or when you know exactly that you're not hungry, but you see the food and can't stop eating it, like you immediately start. Like, we have skills for everything, and for the recovery, we also need the skills which we were never taught. One of the most important skills, which I always start with, is differentiation between emotional and physical hunger. If you are struggling with food noise for a long time, and I have been struggling with it my whole life, every time you feel hungry, you think it's physical hunger. It's not. Sometimes hunger is emotional. Not all the cravings are physical cravings. This doesn't mean that hunger is fake. It means that your body is communicating with you, telling you that something is different. Something might be wrong, and this is how it gets your attention. How do we tell the difference? Well, there are several cues that we can search for when we feel hungry to see if it is a physical hunger or emotional hunger. Let me give you a very, very simple one. Let's start with physical hunger, right? Physical hunger comes gradually. Maybe not very noticeable in the beginning, but it increases and then you feel quite hungry. It can also show up as body signals, which is emptiness of stomach, like growling noises. Then it can be irritation. We are getting more and more irritated when we don't have enough food or when we are hungry. It can be headaches. It can be difficulty focusing because when you're hungry, you're on low energy, and um, mental work is quite challenging. And the last one is that any type of food can satisfy, which is very, very important one. I think this is the one in the beginning which helps you start finding the differences between emotional and physical hunger, and then other cues are noticeable too. So let's summarize. Three most important things that happen when we're physically hungry is the hunger is gradual. It doesn't spike immediately. It starts you being a little hungry, then the hunger level increases until you eat. Second is how your body shows it. Like, you start getting a headache, you're starting feeling more irritated, you are low on energy, it's difficult to walk, you want to lie down, things like that. The third one is that you're gonna have any food. If you're hungry enough, you can eat anything. And when you're physically hungry, you might have food preference, but it's not the obligation. I would prefer to eat pizza right now, but I have mac and cheese at home, so I'm gonna eat that one. Like, food preference and eating whatever you want is not different. You can have the preference, but you can eat anything. If somebody will offer you something else, you will be happy to eat it because you're physically hungry, your body wants to use this food to nourish itself. Emotional hunger is different. We have three things here as well. First, it's very sudden and it has urgency to it. It's like, I have to eat right now, and there's no negotiation. I don't care. I'm not willing to wait. I want food right here, right now. So, sudden, urgent is the first thing. They are kind of synonymous in this scenario. The second thing is you want specific food. That's what we call usually the cravings. When I am emotionally hungry, I want something specific. It doesn't necessarily have to be sweets because that's one of the things we always think with emotional eating. It's not. It can be sour things. It can be drink. It can be sweets. Most of the time they are sweets, but it has different reason for that. We're not going to talk about it today. However, anything, but it's not going to be something random that you never had. I don't like olives. I will never want olives, even if I'm emotionally hungry. They're not in for my palate, so they are something that will give you comfort. That usually we start craving the food that gives us comfort. It can be chips, it can be chocolate, maybe pizza even. I don't know. It depends from person to person. I can't tell you what your emotional eating food might be. You might start noticing that they are linked to the food you avoid to have at your house. Let's summarize the emotional cravings as well. First thing was it's very urgent, it's very sudden, comes out of nowhere. The second thing was that we are craving specific things. It's not that I want food, whatever it is. That sounds like a physical hunger more, but I want food and it's supposed to be this one. And the third one is actually absence of bodily reaction. Like irritation, headaches, focusing issues, stomach growl, they're not there. Like there's no physical bodily irritation. However, it can show up as anxiety. Like when you feel anxiety in your chest, like in the body, that's usually where people feel it, but it feels very similar to anxiety if you have bodily reaction. Otherwise, there is absence of it. So that is number one skill I would like you to start practicing. If you start practicing it constantly, like every single day, maybe sometimes more focused, sometimes less focused, but just do it every single day for a week, and you start noticing the differences, because other differences will show up as well. The one of the person I work with, she gets thirsty when she's physically hungry before she feels any of the hunger cues, and I never experienced that myself. So it's her body's way of telling that we are lacking nutrients. And that is something I can never teach her because she's an individual. She had noticed it herself. You will notice it yourself too. Those three things we discussed today about physical and emotional hunger are start. They give you direction of how to start seeing the differences and how to understand and feel the difference between the hunger types. You will start seeing your own reaction to it. You will find your own additional things that are specifically for you as an individual, and it will make it easier. So this is just the beginning of the skills. This is just one of the skills. It's not all of them, but I noticed that it's more or less universal for everyone. That's why I wanted to share this one specifically. And for the next video, which will be level 3, we will be talking about beliefs, which is a little more deeper for the recovery.